So here we go. It's game number 1 of the finals of the 2024 Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship.
Ruben gets to go first here with his Yubel deck. We've seen him take the lead in several games at this point, and the Yubel deck is so strong at going first, it's almost unstoppable.
Ruben, carrying the hopes of Jose along with him, is going to start this duel off.
Matchup is
draw or standby.
Fiendsmith Snake Eye versus Fiendsmith Yubel. Ruben starts off with Samsara D Lotus.
Enough to get the entire combo started on its own, but not nearly as powerful as opening something along the lines of opening of the Spirit Gates. So just only an individual combo, but we're not stopping anything this far.
Yep, since RD Lotus is going to attribute itself to Special Summon Spirit of Yubel from the deck, on Summon Spirit of Yubel is going to let Ruben add or set a card that mentions Yubel, and yep, Nightmare Pain is the go-to here.
Nightmare Pain's being activated. Is there a response? There is no response from Mark. Going to be able to destroy the Spirit of Yubel. Going to resolve Nightmare Pain, adding the Gruesome Grave Squirmer.
Spirit of Yubel's effect's going to activate when it's destroyed to Special Summon a Yubel from the deck to the field.
Looking an awful lot like a semi-final match so far with no interaction from Mark.
Let's see what Ruben's next move is going to be. It looks like he is going to reveal that Gruesome Grave Squirmer to try and Special Summon it.
Opting to Special Summon, Special Summon and destroy the Yubel.
Probably trying to find more materials to add to the graveyard so he can access Phantom Yubel from that extra deck. So we see Yubel the Terra Incarnate come down.
Can I just double check Squirmer's effect? Go ahead.
Yep, Gruesome Grave Squirmer does have a couple of really good effects, being able to Special Summon and then destroy if you so choose. When it's in the graveyard, it's also going to be able to banish itself and Special Summon back a monster later on.
I think Mark taking note of how many summons have been done at this point.
So performing a Leak Summon here, Ruben's going to send both his monsters to the graveyard to summon the link to Unchained Soul Lord of Yama. That's going to let him add an Unchained monster from his deck to his hand.
There's only one choice, and it is Shivara.
Go ahead and summon Phantom of Yubel.
All right, and now he's going to return the 2 materials required to fusion summon Phantom of Yubel from the extra deck. Phantom Yubel is going to protect him from monster effects, as it can change the monster effect to force to become just to destroy Yubel from the deck. Now, as I said, Gruesome Grave Squirmer is going to banish itself from the graveyard to Special Summon back Spirit of Yubel. This is a great start here for Ruben.
No responses from Mark up to this point. With the Phantom already on the field, it's going to be way more difficult to get anything through.
Targeting Spirit.
All right, the Shivar is going to destroy Spirit of Yubel. While the on-summon effect is once per turn, the effect when it is destroyed to Special Summon Yubel from the deck is not, or from the graveyard.
But seeing as he's just put some Yubel monsters back in the deck, might as well get him from there. There's also no once per turn on summoning the Phantom of Yubel, so the more monsters you get, the more Phantoms you can summon.
All right, taking a moment to consider his next move carefully.
Ruben's done this combo several times up to this point, so just has to go through the motions to try to consider what could happen from Mark's side.
A Link Summon here, going to send both his monsters to the graveyard to summon Unchained Soul of Rage. Since Shivara was sent to the graveyard, it's going to let him set an Unchained Trap card from his deck. It's going to go for Abominable Chamber of the Unchained.
Caster audio?
I cannot.
It looks like Ruben is shuffling his deck thoroughly now, indicating that he's done with it for the turn. A little bit of a surprise.
He's pretty well insulated right now. Has the Yama in the graveyard, has Unchained Soul of Rage, Phantom Yubel protecting him.
He has not accessed the Fiendsmith part of his engine yet, so I'm surprised he's...
End phase.
Nope, doesn't look like he is going to get any Fiendsmith cards online, but during the end phase, the Samsara D Lotus is going to come back because Yubel will require something to be tributed during the end phase, or it will go to the graveyard.
Opting to still tribute the Yubel anyway.
Can I read Lotus? Yes.
Let's take another look here at Lotus. It's a bit of a tricky card.
Okay.
Yeah, very rare to see this part of Lotus's effect be activated.
Perfect. All right, my turn.
Yeah, so a strong start, but missing that other half of the deck here for Ruben, so it's not going to have something like DDD High Wave King Caesar on the field. We'll see how Mark's going to pilot his Snake Eye strategy through this field.
Now, he didn't interact at all during Ruben's turn, so you got to figure that his hand is full of ways to act instead.
That could be the case here. Divine Temple of the Snake Eye, the first action here from Mark. Picking up half the deck, not in the top half. You know how much I love that.
What do you think the over-under on number of times that the card they're looking for was in the correct half of the deck?
100% of the time it's on the bottom.
Yeah.
But Snake Eye's Diabell Star is going to be placed in that spell and trap zone to be summoned later on. And the next up is Bonfire. Ruben has no response. Bonfire is going to let him add a level 4 or lower Pyro monster, and it's going to be that Snake Eyes Poplar.
Pop effect.
Poplar effect is activated in the hand. Special Summon itself is going to be able to activate on the field to add a Snake Eye spell or trap.
Already has the Divine Temple, so he's probably going to be looking to access. Yep, here we go again.
Bottom out.
Original Sinful Spoils of the Snake Eyes.
Now we know because the Unchained Solar Rage is on the field, you can go into Anima, into the zone that it points to.
Will be a good way to force out the Unchained Soul of Rage potentially, but he could also hold off on it since he does have Abominable, but having the Soul of Rage in the Spell and Trap card zone would be also... Ignore that Bonfire Colossus. It's actually supposed to be Bonfire. So Soul of Rage, yep, going to use right away here on Anima.
Important note, Poplar wasn't activated either.
That's something key to note. Holding off on the Poplar
graveyard
effect.
That is.
Any triggers this turn play? Yeah, Chainlink 1 target. I'm going to go Chainlink 2.
So Chainlink 1, Divine Temple to try and summon the Snake Eye Diabell Star. Chainlink 2, Ruben's SP Knight is going to banish the Snake Eyes Diabell Star from the spell and trap zone. That's huge.
Ruben taking advantage of how turn player priority works here to get the banish off in the way that he wants. But there is a normal summon of Snake Eye Oak.
Snake Eye Oak will let him special summon back that Poplar from the graveyard. But Phantom of Yubel might have something to say about it, or SP Little Knight's going to take that Snake Eye Oak off the field temporarily until the end phase, but that means it's going to be harder for Mark to access something like Snake Eye's Flameburst Dragon from the deck without using his original Sinful Spoils. But even still, if he original Sinful Spoils, it's going to be harder to get a couple monsters on the field, since he's already used Snake Eye's Poplar's effect from the hand.
So Ruben's still got that Phantom of Yubel on the field, and we also saw that he's got quite a large number of cards in hand.
Yep, and we've been holding that Ash Blossom for the original Sinful Spoil.
That's a huge Ash Blossom and Joyous Ring here from Ruben. I guess that makes a lot of sense. If he doesn't have the Fiendsmith cards, he probably has more points of interaction from his hand there to help with the field that he was able to create in turn number 1.
Looks like it's just going to be a set from Mark.
Wow. So Ruben able to stop Mark from going any further here in his turn.
Mark, could you please straighten up your graveyard?
Sure.
Thank you.
Don't forget to switch your...
Tough start here for Mark.
And the main...
Yep, Mark choosing to end the main phase here, going into battle phase.
Forced to go to battle phase thanks to Nightmare Pain.
Phantom. Yeah. Take 700.
So he's going to take 700 points of
So you have
damage,
73.
reflected back at him.
Main phase 2. End phase.
Ruben gets to have another turn here. SP Little Knight resolves, summoning back the Oak as well as itself.
On that card gets put on. I'm just thinking on mine. Strike. And then still in the end phase.
Interesting positioning on Little Knight there. Activates the Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. Special back.
Effect.
Oh, for the Yama that had not been used yet, getting back the Sharvara.
Things are looking really good here for Ruben in game number 1.
What's your grade? Still in the end phase. Activate True Swarm, targeting.
Wow, and he has the Bestial Druisworm on top of it. If things didn't already look really good, they're getting even better.
My turn.
Ruben opting to go for more of a half field just to really conserve his resources for the following turn because he needs to just do just enough to stop his opponent. And he had confidence with the cards in his hand that he had enough already.
Ash Blossom proving critical there, holding it back until the very last moment to make sure that Mark couldn't get things going.
Standby phase. Main phase 1 cut. Very good.
Moved into the main phase.
I'm going to go ahead and link summon these two. For Nightmare Phoenix.
First action here from Ruben is a link summon for Nightmare Phoenix, and that's going to be co-linked with SP Little Knight.
I'm gonna go.
He'll be able to discard a card to destroy a spell and trap card, and then draw a card.
Target. I'm gonna go Jewel Swarm, Chain Link 2 on pop.
Discards the bigger Yubel. That's great to put in the graveyard because you can use it as a material if something happens to that Phantom of Yubel.
It looks like it was just a bluff bonfire, but this Phoenix gets a lot of value. The draw, the effect, banishing the Poplar because of the, or not banishing, but sending it to the graveyard because of Druid Swarm.
Thinking.
Confidently in the driver's seat right now is Ruben. He doesn't want to make any silly mistakes at this point in the duel.
Looks like he's going to make another Phantom of Yubel here.
Returns the materials. Either he wants to protect himself more, or it's just you giving another monster on the field to use as a material to continue to link climb. He does have to watch out for maybe a pair of cards, even though Mark only has a pair of cards in hand that could disrupt him.
Yeah, could really only be afraid of Effect Veilers paired with something along the lines of Nibiru the Primal Being. If there was an Infinite Permanence, it would have been set to the field already.
Exactly. So those Phantom Yubels are really putting in a lot of work here. But he is going to send one to the graveyard to special summon Shavara from the hand.
I'll go ahead and enter battle phase.
Oh, opting to enter the battle phase straight up.
Take 900.
Another 900 since Nightmare Pain reflects the damage back at Mark.
-3, -6, yeah. I'm gonna attack over. Yep.
It's going to be another 700 points of damage.
54.
Yep.
Or
Mark.
not 54, 57.
Not going to be quite enough
Attack
here.
19.
Because it's 19, 2000, and another 2000? Oh, actually,
Yeah, it's 59.
it's 59.
Attack for game.
All right. And Ruben takes game number 1 over Mark, and now just one game away from becoming the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG/OCG World Champion. But you don't see a smile on his face. Still stoic, still focused, knows that the job is not done just yet. All right, it's time to do it. The duelists have side deck. They've shuffled up, and it's going to be game number 2 here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024 in Seattle, Washington.
Grand Finals.
Yep.
So we have our check for Perulia here. It's not there.
Oh, we get to finally see the Fiendsmith engine here. Marxwell is going to be able to lead with the Fiendsmith Engraver.
I guarantee you the track is not in that top half of the deck. I knew that was coming. Just pick the whole thing up at once. It was actually the bottom card, so imagine how quick that would have been. But neither here nor there. Fiendsmith's track is in the hand here for Mark Solis. Engraver we finally see in here the finals. Fiendsmith's track's going to let him add a light fiend from the deck to the hand. Then he's going to have to discard a card. It's usually going to be Fabled Lure, but since he's adding Engraver, that might
already
mean
has Lure.
he already has Fabled Lure in the hand. Since Fabled Lure was discarded to the graveyard, it's going to special summon itself back to the field.
Now, already having used Engraver from the hand, you might think that's pretty useless in the hand, but actually it's an additional light fiend that you can use for Track's Grave Effect.
That's right, the track grave effect only fuses from hand to field, while the sequence one fuses from the graveyard.
Requiem going to tribute itself. Summon another copy of Engraver from the deck.
I'll use Requiem effect.
The Requiem equips itself now, and there is the Wanted.
The one cop of Wanted, Seeker of the Sinful Spoils coming down.
Will there be a Dayball Star in the top half of the deck? There will not.
It's a fun little minigame, though. You remember Pegasus's Prophecy card, where you had to guess if the monster about to be summoned is above or below 2,000?
It's very similar.
Kind of reminds me of that. Is it in the top or the bottom half of the deck?
All right, Wanted, I'm sorry, the Yubel Star is going to send the Requiem to special summon itself, using its effect, going to go ahead and set. 0 lessons learned.
It's only been 3 times this game.
0-4 in this match.
Sets the original Sinful Spoils. Gonna link away both his monsters to Fiendsmith Sequence.
Sequence going to be shuffling back the Fiendsmith Requiem, as well as, it looks like one of the Engravers, more likely the Lurie. Yep, going to commit to the Lurie here. To fusion summon Fiendsmith Lacrima.
Lacrima's targeting Engraver.
Engraver's going to hit the field off of Lacrima's effect.
All right, and now Ruben is picking up his cards, and he's got Nibiru, the Primal Being, and it's going to hit the Earth.
Yep, with all those monsters on the field, there was a chance he could go directly into Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. Ruben, knowing that is an option, drops into Nibiru, the Primal being here.
Mark not necessarily happy with this, but at least he hasn't used his original Sinful spell yet. He still has the effect of Lacrima to hit for 1200.
Puts back one of those engravers.
68 to your full. Yeah.
Mark no longer has to worry about the Nibiru now that it's already resolved. He can use the effective engraver in his graveyard. Oh, but there is a Druid Worm as well.
This could be huge. Bestial Druid is going to banish the engraver that's trying to come back from the graveyard.
Despite their limited status, the Bestials here have been huge all throughout the weekend, both in the TCG and in Master Duel.
When there's only one of them, you can really feel their impact.
Sure can, especially if it's a Magna button. Suddenly there's two of them.
The impact of Nibiru, the impact of the Bestials, huge here in the finals. A tribute summon for the Fiendsmith engraver that he added off the Fiendsmith's track.
He needs a face-up card, so he's going to be able to use the effective sequence now and then send it with the original Sinful spells. Will there be a response from Ruben? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, the chances are pretty high he finds one in the top half this time, but... No.
I regret to inform you, he's heading to the bottom half of the deck for the one of Snake Eye Ash.
Snake Eye Ash effect is going to let him add that Snake Eyes Poplar to the hand, special summon itself to the field.
Poplar going to be able to add likely the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. He picked up the whole deck this time. I want to point that out.
Now that it was right on top, perfect timing. Divine Temple of Snake Eyes is now in the hand for Mark Solis. He's still going to want to clear this board. He doesn't want Ruben to start his turn with two monsters on the field.
Forced to use...
The Bellstar is now in the spell and trap zone.
Unfortunately, both effects of Sequence and Requiem have been used, so Engraver will not likely have anything to equip to itself to use its effect. So now we're going to be using Ash with the Diabell Star in order to... Seems like he's eyeing Snake Eyes Oak.
Target Ash.
Oak hits the field, targeting the Ash to special summon it back from the graveyard. So now Mark's only tools to really remove Ruben's field efficiently, it will likely be the Asphalal Knight, and because of that, he's going to be likely prioritizing the Druid Worm.
So he also has a Flamebird's Dragon. He could just potentially push back that Druid Worm.
But then he wouldn't be able to set up anything for himself.
Yeah,
so
it's a tough call.
Still has two cards in his hand. He would have two cards going to Ruben, drawing up to 4. Yeah, it feels like he's got to have something on this end board, but we'll see what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about how strong these cards in hand can be. All it takes is one card to do the full combo, so you need multiple points of interaction here to make sure that Ruben's plays are stymied enough.
Stymied, good word.
I took the SAT.
I will Flamberg target Druid Swarm.
Yep, looks like the Flamebird is going to push the Druid Swarm back into the spell and trap zone.
Just straight back in there. I like these cards where the cards move back and forth between the rows.
Yes, the
Centurion,
motion.
Valence, the Snake Eye cards.
The motion feels really nice.
It does. Like when you're playing it, it just feels good to push your cards forward so that they can attack.
All right, now we're going to see a Link summon here for Hida. There are no fire monsters in Ruben's graveyard, but just trying to get that Flamebird into the graveyard so he can bring back a couple of level 1s. It's going to be Snake Eye Oak and Snake Eyes Poplar.
Still having to deal with the Nibiru at this point, but you do have the freedom to use Asphalal Knight. But using it now means you don't have it for IP Masquerade later to get the additional value from the banish on your opponent's turn. You still have its on-field effect, of course, but just really minimizing the amount of full responses that you could have.
Yep, definitely the next move is going to be a Link summon here for Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames. It's going to bestow flames to reignite Snake Eyes Flamebird's Dragon from the graveyard.
And now what? Currently locked under fire monsters. No Desiree there to negate Promethean Princess, as we've seen many times.
Oh, well, we did see this before from Mark. He still plays the Raging Phoenix.
I love Salamander, great Raging Phoenix. It's a good Link 4 fire you can go into. It's also great at finishing games. Let's see if he's going to link it away for World Sea Dragons Atlantis here, or if he's just going to continue his progression of plays.
That would be another way to actually remove this Nibiru without having to waste the the SP Little Knight.
It does look like that is what Mark is considering.
I'll use World Sea Effect.
Yep, he's going to use World Sea Dragon's Blade. It's going to banish all monsters on the field and special summon them back. Mark gets to choose if they go face up, face down, all their positions. But since that Nibiru is special summoned, Ruben special summoned a monster which will activate the effect of Promethean Princess to destroy the Snake Eyes Flameburst Dragon and the Nibiru, the Primal Being.
Now he can use the Raging Phoenix just to put another monster on the field.
Looks like he is going to do just that. Since a fire monster was destroyed, the Salamander Great Raging Phoenix special summons back from the graveyard and gains the attack of the monster destroyed. But chances are it'll be used as a link material here, and that is the case because he wants to get that princess back into the graveyard.
Mark really burning through the fire monsters in his extract, but he had a plethora of them.
Now he's going to use Snake Eyes Diabell Star to place Flameburst Dragon from the graveyard in the spell and trap zone and special summon itself out to the main monster zone.
And he still has the 2 non-link monsters needed to summon IP Masquerena.
I don't know if I've ever seen this board state before, but you know, having to play through Nibiru and Druid Swarm, you have to be able to adapt on the fly and find a still a strong board at that, because the way to deal with IP is to go to battle phase, but he has the World Sea Dragon's Lantis co-linked with the Nightmare Phoenix, so if he tries to go to battle, he can destroy monsters at any point in the battle phase.
Exactly, and he still has the Flameburst in the spell and trap zone, so he didn't even lose access to it because of the Divine Temple. So anytime Ruben would summon a monster, he can push up that Flameburst and then still has access to a powerful Little Knight while also getting back all the advantage from your graveyard.
Beautiful play here from Mark Solis.
It's a really smart field, smart line of play, and it's not something you usually see because you associate these cards with finishing the duel on turn 3 or beyond.
Indeed. Let's see what he got off of that draw from Wanted Seeker of the Sinful Spoils.
Just going to be a pass back here.
All right, Ruben draws 4 cards in hand versus Zealantis, Nightmare Phoenix, IP Masquerena, the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye, and a spell card version of Snake Eyes Flameburst Dragon. And he starts off with Fiendsmith and Graver.
Oh, but there is an Ash Blossom to meet it. That was going to be one of the more powerful effects because it was going to demand answers immediately as soon as it hits the field alongside a Requiem.
Has he got the throne? He does.
Nightmare Throne for Ruben. He baited out the Ash, and now he's free to either destroy or add from his deck. Probably going to destroy Spirit of Yubel, if I had to guess. But I've been wrong before, but nope, this time I'm right. It is Spirit of Yubel being destroyed, so he's going to try and special summon a Yubel from the deck.
The faster that he could put up the Phantom Yubel, the faster that he could answer the IP Masquerena.
Yeah, I'll target.
All right, since the monster was summoned, Divine Temple of the Snake Eye is going to allow Mark Solis to push forward that Snake Eyes Flameburst Dragon into the main monster zone.
All right, so now going into the Phantom of Yubel, which will likely force the Princess in the graveyard.
Normal summon.
Oh, doesn't seem to it.
Normal summon Samsara D Lotus.
Effect tribute cost.
You can tribute that off the field to special summon a Yubel monster from the deck.
Trying to find that other copy of Spirit of Yubel. Found it.
Yep.
Now he's going to use the effect to set Nightmare Pain from the deck.
Anything here? Nope. Activate. Okay.
Nightmare Pain is activated, going to be able to use its effect here. It looks like Mark has no responses. He needs to force out the Phantom of Yubel at some point if he wants to get the value out of his IP Masquerena.
Like Spirit in the graveyard. Okay.
Can you flip the green card to red, please?
Sorry.
Thank you. This is a very tense duel. So much on the line.
What'd you switch off there?
I have to like remind myself to breathe every few seconds while I'm watching this.
Yeah, so it feels like we're so invested. We're just kind of watching. We forget to talk about it a little bit.
Mark Solis taking a moment to figure out if this is where he wants to try and use his Flameburst Dragon effect or the IP Masquerena.
I wish I could hear their internal monologues right now.
I'll use IP.
It is IP that is going to start. Yeah, just like the anime, kind of.
Exactly.
That's like a key part of the anime is those internal monologues. But
Phantom.
Phantom Yubel is going to chain link 2 to IP Masquerena to change the effect to destroy Yubel from the deck. Looks like he's thinking about destroying Spirit of Yubel again.
Yep, that's gonna be Spirit of Yubel destroyed. Let's see if he has another monster to summon off of it.
Anything here?
Doesn't look like it. So he'll reveal Gruesome Gravescormer to spell summon that from the hand
For this.
and destroys Yubel. And now he's going to use Yubel's effect. Special summoning the Terra Incarnate.
Now, I haven't seen an Ultimate Nightmare the entire weekend, but this could be a... If you can take this Terra Incarnate off the field and have it summon nothing in return, that could be huge.
Well, I think that's why he's been holding Nightmare Throne's effect, right?
Right. That's right, he hasn't used it yet. Okay.
He's been saving it for this princess that he knows is lurking in Mark's graveyard.
Yeah, he's trying his best, but there's still plenty of interaction here from Mark's side of things.
For
The Zealantis is really troublesome just sitting there on the field.
Yeah, you can't go straight into the battle phase now. Not that the IP Masquerade is much more of a threat.
All right. Yep, he might be considering Princess here. Yama on summon will activate the effect to add an Unchained monster. It's going to be that Shavara.
Farah ends up in Ruben's hand here. Just the sole Lord Yama so far. He has the ability to use the Gruesome Swarmer.
Incarnate and Spirit of Yubel.
But before that, another Phantom Yubel.
Yeah, oh man, you would think that he wanted to maybe get that Princess effect out before another Phantom touchdown.
The effect of Phantom is once per turn, right? To negate? Or to switch the effect?
No, I don't think, is it? It might be, yeah, it might actually be. You can summon multiple return, but
Yeah.
the effect is only once per turn. That's right, because you have to use infinite permanents when they have 2.
Vanish.
So he'll be okay. He's just going to use it as a material.
Or it doesn't target. Vanish. Yeah, you're good.
Yep, banishes Gruesome Gravescormer to special summon back Spirit of Yubel.
Activate. Target.
Sharvara is going to go after that Spirit of Yubel.
I'll go chain link 1, chain link 2. Okay.
Nightmare Throne's effect has not been used. And now it will be, so he's going to be able to set the trap from the deck and special summon a Yubel of a different level from Sphere to Yubel. 1 up or 1 down, and it is going to be the Terra Incarnate yet again.
The Terra Incarnate from the Nightmare Throne, and then from the Spirit of Yubel back to the Yubel that was shuffled into the deck earlier? Yep.
From the graveyard.
Luckily, Spirit of Yubel can summon from anywhere.
Anything here? Nope. No link summon.
Ruben finding a way here. Gonna make Anguish. Anguish will let him use one of Mark's monsters as a material.
Summon. Do you have any triggers?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Ruben's deck plays a lot of these cards that are not typically in the extra deck, choosing to have more utility going second than utility going first.
You have to do something
Yeah,
about
it's
this
now or
Anguish.
never here.
I don't think Mark was prepared for this. He would never expect Anguish in the Yubel strategy.
Yeah, I'll use Princess. Targets. Targets. Flamberg.
That's gonna resolve.
Flamebridge is going to be able to add back or summon back multiple level 1s from the graveyard, but Anguish is also going to be able to add back one of those fiends.
I'm gonna go.
And the Princess
Anguish,
being
chain
co-linked
link
with the
1.
Zealantis means now there are 3 monsters that are co-linked, so that'll be more cards that can destroy during the battle phase, potentially. Ruben's going to use Yama's effect to banish itself from the graveyard since the card was destroyed and summon back a Fiend.
Anguish put back one of those Phantom Yubels.
Oak and Poplar come from the graveyard to the field thanks to Snake Eyes Flamebird's Dragon. Anguish comes back thanks to Yama. Expertly played here from Ruben.
He's played into many Snake Eye fields up to this point. He knows what he's looking for.
Oak's going to add Snake Eye Ash from the hand. And wouldn't you know it, the original Sinful Spoils is on the bottom where he put it.
I'll activate Anguish targeting World's Zealantis. Okay.
Yep, this is looking good for Ruben. He's going to link away those Zealantis for Axis Code Talker, targeting his Anguish, so it's going to gain 3,000 attack.
And that's a lot of Yubels with a lot of Nightmare Pain.
Attack you, take 27.
Gonna attack into the Promethean Princess.
27.
The damage is reflected, the damage is reflected, the damage is reflected, and that's it! Ruben wins your 2024 TCG/OCG Yu-Gi-Oh! World Champion from the United States is Ruben Penaranda! Just incredible. You see the camaraderie between the two players from the United States, but Ruben, for the next year, will be the reigning Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG OCG World Champion, ripping it off the pedestal, not waiting for it to be handed. He's taking his trophy. The emotion is incredible. I just can't believe it.
This has been one of the most storied weekends ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! history.
I'm at a loss for words. Incredible. Incredible is the only word I have to describe this.
I could not think of a more deserving champion.
He has been on my radar. He has just been doing so well for so long. He's had the right mentality. He's gone to regional after regional from all around North America. He's gone to YCS after YCS, winning YCS with his friends, but this has to mean the world to him. Absolutely amazing. Just overwhelms much. It's like kind of like a cascade of emotions that hit you. It's not just because you won, because you're just so focused, always focusing on the next round. It's not over till it's over. The job isn't done until you finally finish the tournament, till you finally won. And then when you finally hit that moment, and it's just a waterfall of emotions. Just congratulations to Ruben Penaranda.
Got to give him a sec to get all these emotions through, letting it settle in.
There he is representing the United States of America. And after so many years of the United States not being able to claim that World Championship trophy, we've now won 2 years in a row, back-to-back World Championships for the United States, and couldn't have happened to a more deserving player.
Thank you, casters. I am live on the players stage with our WCS 2024 TCG OCG World Champion, Ruben Penaranda! Ruben, this is a big moment for you. It's over, the job's done, and this is real. And I want to start off by just getting your immediate reactions to winning this World Championship.
This isn't real. This year has been insane. It's had a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, it's just not real. The one thing I can say is I wouldn't be here without the help of all my friends. The ones that are here, the ones that aren't, the ones that are at home watching, rooting for me, sending me messages. It's who I do it for. This wasn't for me. It's not for me, Bell. It's for you, Bell.
おめでとうございます。今の率直な感情など、今考えていることを教えてください。そのことで、もう本当現実的な、もう現実とは思えないぐらい今ものすごく感動しております。ちょっともう仲間、もう友達、そして某国の方で待っている。見てくれている人たちがいなかったらもう自分はここにいないと思います。もう今もまだ自分がもうここに立っていることを信じられません。
Now, Ruben, you mentioned it's been a crazy year. It has been a crazy year for you. You were telling me your schedule. You've been traveling all summer, going from work to event to work to event. You haven't even been home more than a couple of days in the last few months. How have you managed to find the time even to prepare for an event like this?
Like I say often, if you're near me, you know this. Yu-Gi-Oh's like a job. The days you want to play it are the days you have to clock in the most. You just go in, practice every day, have great friends around you that keep you motivated. That's pretty much it.
もうここ数ヶ月間もう家に帰ったのが数日というほどいろいろなスケジュールで大会に参加していたと聞いたのですが、それらの時間をどうやって作ったのですかという質問に対してもう自分にとっては遊戯王はもう仕事みたいなものであり、それに対してもう真摯に向き合っていくだけです。本当もう仲間やみんなのサポートがなかったらもうここまではできていないと思います。
Now, Ruben, you mentioned that you didn't do this for yourself. You're wearing the flag. You've been representing the region. Last year is Pauly. This year it's you. What does this mean for the reputation of the region that you're representing at the international stage?
like all of us in the U.S. and North America know, we're no one to scoff at. I think we proved it in the last 2 years. That's pretty much it.
そうですね、去年としても、今年としても、自分、地域としての優勝となっておりますが、それに対してのコメントとかありますかというところで、自分たちがもうここにもう立っているというところで、自分たちのもう存在ということをある種、ここで証明できているのではないかと思います。
Ruben, final question for you. Not only were you doing it for the region, you said in your semifinals match you were doing it for Jose. So what message do you have for Jose out there and anybody else at home who's been cheering and supporting you along the journey?
Thank you. I love you all. Like I said multiple times, I couldn't have done this without you. This is a stressful thing to do. It's a stressful environment. If you don't have people supporting you, you can't get through it. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. It was not alone.
さっきも、名前を言ってくれたホセ君や、自分たちの母国で待っている友達や仲間などに何か伝えたいことはありますかという質問に関してもうみんな心から愛している。もう本当にありがとう。君たちがいなかったら自分はここに立つことはできなかったと何度も繰り返すことになるけれども、本当そのサポートによって自分はここにいると言ってます。
Congratulations once again, Ruben. All the duelists better make some noise for your TCG OCG 2024 World Champion! And with that said, we're going to send it back over to the casters.